Oh, say, can you say? Oh, my brothers, oh, my sisters, these are terrible tongue twisters. Oh, oh, say, can you say? Said a book-reading parrot named Hooey. The words in this book are all phooey. When we say them, your lips will make slips and backflips, and your tongue may end up in St. Louis. Do you like fresh fish? It's just fine at Finney's diner. Finney also had some fresher fish, that's fresher and much finer. But his best fish is his freshest fish, and Finney says with pride, the finest fish at Finney's is my freshest fish, French fried. So don't order the fresh or the fresher fish at Finney's. If you're wise, you'll say, fetch me the finest, French fried, freshest fish in Finney's fries. We have a dinosaur named Din. Din's thin. Din doesn't have much skin, and the bones fall out of his left front shin. Then we have to call Pinner Blin, who comes with his handy shin pin bin, and with a thin bin shin bone pin, Blin pins Din shin boned right back in. Bed spreaders spreads on beds. Bread spreaders spread butters on breads. And that bed spreader better watch out how he's spreading, or that bed spreader's sure going to butter his bedding. Ape cakes, grape cakes. As he gobbled the cakes on his plate, the greedy ape said as he ate, the greener green grapes are, the keener keen apes are. To gobble green grape cakes, they're great. Are you having trouble saying this stuff? It's really quite easy for me. I just look in my mirror and see what I say, and then I just say what I see. Now let's talk about money. You should leave your grox home when you travel by air. If you take him along, they'll charge double fare, and your grox must be packed and locked in a grox box which costs much, much more than a little old fox box. So it's heaps a lot cheaper to fly with your foxes and waste all that money on boxes for groxes. And what do you think costs more, a simple or thimble? A single shingle? A simple thimble could cost less than a single shingle would, I guess. So I think that single shingle should cost more than a simple thimble would. Eat at Skipper Zip's if you like to eat potato chips and chew pork chops on clipper ships. I suggest that you chew a few chips and chop at Skipper Zip's clipper ship chip chop shop. And if your tongue is getting queasy, don't give up, the next one's easy. There are so many things you should really know, and that's why I'm bothering telling you so. You should know the first names of the Fudd and other brothers who'd like to pile on the heads of each others. If you start at the top, there are Blippers and Bud, and Skipper and Jipper, and Jeffrey and Judd, Horatio, Horace, and Hendrix and Hud, and then come Dinwoodle, and Dinty and Dud, and Fitzsimmons and Frederick and Fudd, and Slinky and Stinky and Stewart and Stud, and down at the bottom is poor little Lud. But if Lud ever sneezes, his name will be Mud. We have 2 ducks, one blue, one black, and when our blue duck goes quack, quack, our black duck quickly quack, quacks back. The quack's blue quack make her quite a quacker, but the blue is a quicker, quacker backer. And speaking of quacks reminds me of cracks and the stacks and the sacks and the shacks and the slacks. So, oh, say, can you say, if I have cracks in my shack, I have smoke in my stack, and I think there is a snack in the sack of my back. Upon an island hard to reach, in east beast sits upon its beach. Upon the west beach sits the west beast. Each beast best thinks that he's the best beast. Which beast is best? Well, I thought at first the east was the best and the west was the worst. Then I looked again from the west to the east, and I liked the beast on the east beast least. Pete Pat's pigs. Pete Briggs Pat's pigs. Briggs Pat's pink pigs. Briggs Pat's big pigs. Don't ask me why, it doesn't matter. Pete Briggs is a pink pig, big pig patter. Pete Briggs pats his big pink pigs all day, and don't ask me why, I cannot say. Then Pete puts his patted pigs away in the Pete Briggs pink pigs big pigs pig pen. Fritz needs Fred, and Fred needs Fritz. Fritz feeds Fred, and Fred feeds Fritz. Fred feeds Fritz with Ritzy Fred's food. Fritz feeds Fred with Ritzy Fritz food, and Fritz, when fed, has often said, I'm a Fred fed Fritz. It's a Fitz fed Fred. How to tell a clot from a glotz? Well, the glotz, you will notice, has lots of black spots. The glotz is quite different, with lots of black dots, but the big problem is the spots on the glotz are about the same size as the dots on the glotz, so you first have to spot who the one with the dots is, then it's easy to tell who the clot or the glotz is. What would you rather be when you grow up? A cop in a cop's cap, or a cupcake cook in a cupcake's cook cap, or a fat flapjacker flapper in a flat flapjack cap? Or do you think, if you don't like cop's caps, flapjack flappers, or cupcake cook's caps, maybe you're one of those choosy chaps who likes cookie captain's caps perhaps? Or about Blinn? Well, when Blinn comes home tired from his working pinning shins, the happiest hour of old Blinn's day begins. Mr. Blinn is the father of musical twins, who, tucking twin instruments under chins, lull their daddy to sleep with twin Blinn violins. And oh, say, can you say, far away in Berlin, a musical urchin named Gretchen von Schwinn has a blue-footed, true-footed, trick-fingered, slick-fingered, six-fingered, six-string tin Schwinn mandolin. Rope, soap, hoop, soap. If you hope to wash soup off a rope, simply scrub it with scrope. Scrope is so strong that no rope is too long. But if you should wish to wash soap off of hoop, I suggest that it's best to let your whole silly souped up hoop soak in soapy Cooper's super soup off hoop soak suds. Merry Christmas mush! One year we had a Christmas brunch with Merry Christmas mush to munch. But I don't think you'd care for such. We didn't like to munch mush much. And speaking of Christmas, here are some great gifts to give your daddy. If your daddy's name is Jim and Jim swims, and if Jim's slim, the perfect Christmas gift for him is a set of Slim Jim swim fins. But if your daddy's name is Dwight and he likes to look at birds at night, the gift for Dwight that might be right is a bright Dwight bird flight night sight light. But never give your daddy a walrus. A walrus with whiskers is not a good pet, and a walrus which whispers is worse even yet. When a walrus lisps, whispers, through rough, wet whiskers, your poor daddy's ears will get blispers and bliskers. And that's almost enough of such stuff for one day. One more and you're finished. Oh, say, can you say? The storm starts when the drops start dropping. When the drops stop dropping, the storm starts stopping. Whoo!